Hello, Houston. This is Elizabeth Liz Miranda with Miranda Properties, and welcome to your show, Casa y Vida Houston, on CBBA Radio. It's a wonderful Thursday afternoon, and again, welcome once again. I do want to remind you that we do have the Spanish show at 1:30. Les quiero recordar que a la 1:30 estaremos con ustedes en español y les pido que asegúrense de ver el programa porque estamos hablando de un tema muy importante que es que pueden recibir hasta $25,000 para un enganche de una casa. O para los casos de cierre. Así que eso será a la 1:30. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be talking about the City of Houston Down Payment Assistance Program, which can provide up to $25,000 in closing costs. So we'll talk about that in a minute. First, we want to talk about our sponsors. Our sponsors for this show are Susie Condolopoulos. She is a loan officer with Gateway Mortgage. If you're looking to buy a home or you want to refinance your home, call Susie. Her cell phone number is 281-250-2696, and you can see her email is on there also. Susie is bilingual. She has over 20 years experience in the banking industry. Our next sponsor is Texas Low Cost Insurance Agency, and this insurance company is in Deer Park, Texas. The number is 281-941-2863. They specialize in homeowners insurance and also flood insurance. I want to remind y'all that this is the time to get flood insurance because the hurricane season is coming up. And do remember, as I've told you before, that it takes 30 days for the flood policy to go into effect. That means that if you buy insurance now, you won't have coverage for 30 days. So you want to make sure you get it in advance. Don't wait till the last minute. All right, and again, it doesn't matter whether you're in Deer Park or Texas, they can help you. All right, so moving on to our guest today. Our guest is a very good friend of mine that I've known for many years. Her name is Rosalinda Garcia with Amegy Bank. Welcome, Rosalinda.
Thank you very much. Hello, Houston. Yes, my name is Rosalinda Garcia, and I do work for Amegy Bank. I've been in the mortgage industry over 20 years, and coming from a family of 12 people, my parents, 10 children, and our parents, I was able to develop a passion for families that are in need of down payment assistance. So I made it my goal to be able to understand the programs that are out there so the people can get a benefit of getting into a home with an affordable mortgage and very little down payment, and also to be able to help the families because it's like a dream come true. Owning a home, there's a lot of families that don't even know how to begin to start the mortgage process. So we're going to talk a little bit about down payment assistance, the free money that is out there, and I tell you, it is free money.
Exactly. That is true. As long as I've known Rosalinda, like I said, I've known you for many years, not all 20 probably, but close. But as long as I've known Rosalinda, she's always definitely worked with programs that help people with down payment assistance programs and helping the low to moderate income earners. Absolutely. So, she's always got great programs. So I knew that definitely she was the person to provide the information on this program. So tell us, the program is called the Home Buyer Assistance Program with the City of Houston, right? And tell us a little bit about the program.
Okay, yes. The City of Houston is making a goal of being able to develop neighborhoods and also one of the requirements that they have in order for you to be able to get the down payment assistance is that the applicant must not have owned a house within the last 3 years. You must meet the income of the household, which means that everybody at the age of 18 and over, if you're working, we have to disclose the income to the city. For example, if you're one person and you're making under $37,800, that means that you would get up to $25,000. It's grant money. The money is free. You don't have to pay it back, provided that you live in the house 5 years. They place a lien, and after 5 years, that grant is forgiven. If you are a family of 2 or more, and you make under 47,950, you would qualify for a grant of 15,000. And again, that money would be forgiven. You don't have to pay it back, provided that you live in the house.
Okay,
The
so
5
let's
years.
let's just clarify. Okay, so here's the income requirements right here. That's what we were talking about, the income requirements, right?
Correct.
So for a person of, so how does this work here, for example? Explain to us the household size. Does that mean that, let's say it's a child, it's a husband and wife, and they have 2 children,
Okay, so that would be a family of 4,
okay?
which means that if you're under 53,950, you would qualify for 25,000. Let's say you're making 59,000, you would still qualify because you're under the 59,900. You would qualify for only 15,000.
Okay, so basically the first column we see right there, if that's your income and you're based on your family size, then you could get up to 25,000. And then the second column, that amount you could get up to 15,000.
That is correct, and we count household income again. If your wife is working, the husband's working, we combine all the income. If you're getting child support, if you have an elderly parent living, they have to count all that income, and we make sure that you meet the requirements of the down payment assistance program.
Okay, now on the household size, would that be like, let's just say it's 2 parents and 2 children and a grandmother.
Okay, so that would be a family of 5.
Okay, and if the grandmother doesn't work, then that's okay still.
Right. The city has a form called the Zero Income Certification, which states, well, the grandmother would have to sign stating that she does not work, she doesn't have any Social Security income coming in, and it's zero income. So if there's no income, then the city will not count it.
Okay, and now does this money have to get paid back?
No, the money is grant. There will be a lien when you close, and what happens is the lender takes the first lien position, and the city of Houston takes the second. After you have lived in the house 5 years, the grant is forgiven, which means that year 6, if you want to sell your house, you don't have to pay any of that money back. However, if you sell the house 3 years, 4 years, you would have to pay part of the money back because you did not meet the requirements.
But not after 5 years.
Not
So if you buy this house and then you sell the house, say 10 years later, you don't have to pay back the 25,000.
That is correct.
Wow,
You
that's
built
pretty
it.
amazing. So let me make sure I understand this, because I mean this is just fascinating.
Sure.
I think that what's
Oh,
more
it is.
fascinating is that people don't use this program, right?
That's correct, and it's such a benefit. I mean, this money is applied. For example, if you're getting 125,000, you can use the 25,000 as a down payment and just pay your own closing costs and prepaids. So, I mean, you're already building equity. That it's an asset.
Right. So let's say someone's going to buy a home for 150,000, right?
That is
and
correct.
that qualifies, and they qualify, then they would get $25,000 down. Now, can they use this for down payment or closing costs?
You can use it for down payment and closing
Both
costs.
combined. Okay.
And-
So let's just say that they have their closing costs. They can use the $25,000 to give down, which is going to bring the house down. Really, it's going to, the loan's only going to be $125,000.
125,000. That is correct.
That's pretty amazing, guys. And all they need to do is bring in the closing costs.
That is correct. Mhm.
That's awesome.
So-
And then they don't have to repay it as long as they live in the house for 5 years.
Exactly.
Now, as far as you know, Rosalinda, does the city of Houston have money available?
The city
for this
of
program?
Houston does have money. They are constantly saying, don't worry, we have a lot of money. We want to give it away. Because of the market going up a little bit, it's been kind of a little bit difficult because the inventory is going a little low. But there's still houses out there. There's existing properties, and I'm sure a lot of the builders want to work with the program because, I mean, it's a benefit for the families.
Exactly. I could see where it's a little bit difficult. It's actually honestly difficult for anyone right now to buy a home, whether you're using a down payment assistance program or whether you're not, because there is a shortage of inventory. There are not a lot of homes for sale, so that is one of the things that makes it tough. And then of course there is new construction that's a little bit high also. But if you can find a home that say homes that are 170, 175, that might be a really good opportunity right there. So we'll talk about that. And we're definitely interested in finding homes that that buyers can qualify for and use this program. So tell us a little bit more about this program. One of the things I wanted to ask you, tell us, does a person have to have a social security number for the program?
Well, the applicant has to have a social security number. If you have a wife that is not a resident, a Israeli, or doesn't have her U.S. citizenship, the city will just require, they will count her because she's going to live in the house. The city will just require an ID, passport, and their certificate from their country. So, but the applicant who is applying for the mortgage loan does have to be a U.S. citizen.
Okay, all right. And then there are, of course, I'm sure that there's a lot of requirements, like a lot of documentation that's required for that has to be submitted. Tell us about that.
Well, you must, one of the requirements is that you must obtain a home buyer education. To the city, it's very important that they do take a classroom setting class because they go over in details on how to maintain your property. So there is a list of HUD approved organizations that do home buyer education. So they want a copy of the certificate showing that you have been to the class. And they also want to make sure that you have a lender that has qualified you for a mortgage. Because let's say you want a house for $200,000. However, the income may not be where you want it to be because you may not qualify. So the lender tells you, okay, I know you want $200,000, however, you will only qualify for $150,000. So that's why they want to make sure that you go to a lender and have a pre-approval from your lender. And once you have that documentation, the city will take your package. You call them directly, and they want a copy of the home buyer education certificate. They want a copy of the lender pre-approval. They want the birth certificates from everybody that's going to live in the households, ID, resident alien or U.S. citizenship. They want 3 months pay stubs, 3 months bank statements, and then they also they don't require tax returns or W-2s. So
they don't, but the lender does.
Well, the lender does only require W-2s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things. I think that, I think a lot of times people will stay away from these programs because they think that it's just too complicated, right? But the truth is that it really is not. The main thing is, I think, is that you've got to work with people that know the program, lenders and realtors that know the program. But we'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back from our break. Well, welcome back to Casa y Vida Houston show on CBBA Radio, and we are talking to Rosalinda Garcia with Amegy Bank about the City of Houston Down Payment Assistance Program. So, as we were talking with her earlier, there are a lot of requirements, and honestly, I think that's what keeps people from using the program. But guys, for $25,000, I'm sure you can make some time. I tell you what, as a realtor, I'm willing to make time to help you gather your documents. And I know that Rosalinda is absolutely ready to, and she does that. She really is very committed to working with people to get this money that's available. So I think that as long as you're working with a lender and a realtor that knows the program, you can get it done. And I have done these programs before, just so you know. Actually, before I was a realtor, I was a loan officer. So I have done these programs actually from the lender side and also from the realtor side. So wouldn't you agree, Rosalinda, that, is it very difficult? Really, do you think it's too hard to do?
The city realized that they were putting a lot of burden in the past on the lenders, and they have really enhanced the program. they have an awesome team. They have committed processors. They have streamlined the process. With all this technology, I mean, all we have to do is email the documents, get that reservation letter, and then once we get a property, we just have to email the appraisal, do a few lender forms, and the city is quick to send an inspector. How they do send an inspector. They just want to make sure that that property is up to city code, and that the inspector goes out there within 24 to 48 hours. So, I mean, it's not like it used to be. We encourage first-time home buyers, if they qualify, use the program because it's a benefit. It's a benefit, and it's like I said, who wouldn't want free money? So one of the things that I wanted to also inform you is that if you cannot have over $15,000 in your bank. However, if you do, they say, okay, in order for you not to be able to qualify, you need to put in $5,000, $7,000, or your balance when you close with the city of Houston cannot be over $15,000. So, you know, if you're going to invest that money in the property, that's okay. But it is a great program, and I have a lot of customers that are using it, and I encourage you, if you can, ask your lender to see if they participate in the program.
Absolutely, absolutely, and again, that's good to know that they can have up to $15,000. So in other words, they don't have to be broke to qualify. A lot of times people think, oh, well, I have to be broke to qualify for any of these programs, and it's not true. I mean, if someone is responsible and they have saved 10,000, you know, 12,000, that doesn't mean that they can't use this money also, right? So
that is correct.
They could actually use their 25,000 and keep this money in the bank, right? Because they need to have some money for the future,
move-ins and for emergencies. Of course, you know, you never know. The house may need a little repairs, or you want to enhance your property. They don't want to leave you broke. They just want to make sure that, and that's a requirement of the government program, that you cannot have over 15,000, and it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Now, one of the things that you did mention was inspections, and I think that was a scary part before in the past for, you know, many years. I know that, and I don't know if that's still the case, you know, how picky they are basically as far as the inspections, the home inspections.
Well, I've been working with the program, and I have not seen them be very hard on the properties. Basically, they want smoke detectors in every bedroom. They want to make sure that the property is safe and sound. If you have burglar bars, and of course it makes sense, because if you don't have keys and they're not up to city code, they're going to ask you remove the burglar bars. Just make sure that your GFIs, that all the no hanging wires, and I haven't seen any issue with the inspections. The inspector goes out there and gives the realtor the report the same day and says, okay, you're missing smoke detectors. How soon can you get them in? Put them in there and call me, and I'll come out the next day. And basically, he does go out the very same day or the next day. Just, you know, he shares everything with the realtor, the listing agent, and the agent, so they can go ahead and take care of the problem if there's any right then and there.
Okay, well, again, it doesn't sound like very difficult. You know, it's basically like a typical home inspection, that they want to make sure that the home is safe. So, you know, again, if you've ever considered, you know, getting this type of loan, or rather program, or even if you haven't, if you're looking to buy a home and you think that you could possibly qualify, you know, give us a call. We will be happy to help you out. And I'm sure we have Rosalinda's information also that we can give you, so that there it is. Feel free to call Rosalinda. Her number is 281-881-1522. Like I said, I know her personally. I know that she's very committed to these programs and very committed to helping the low to moderate income you know, people, and she will help you get this loan done. So make sure that you contact her for any questions that you might have. Contact her, contact me. We'll be happy to walk you through this and hold your hand through the whole process. All right? Okay, so Rosalinda, I want to thank you very much. You know, we're done with our segment. Of course, you're going to stay on for our Spanish segment.
You're welcome.
And so we're going to continue with that. So we won't say completely bye to you yet, but thank you so much for the information.
You're so welcome.
Next, we're going to go with Oliva Garcia, who's our realtor with Miranda Properties.
Hi everybody, how are you today?
And tell us what you have for us today.
So today I wanted to talk about Rancho Verde. It's actually a new neighborhood. No, not a new neighborhood, but new construction houses. And this is an amazing deal that's going on, which is up to $7,500 in closing costs and also reduced pricing on select inventory. And not only are they offering $7,500 in closing costs, they're also willing to give you a washer and dryer, a stainless steel refrigerator, blinds, a keyless entry deadbolt, full gutters, and front and back irrigation, and also garage door openers. So this is a great deal. And if you guys have any questions, please contact me at 346-310-9019. We'll definitely go out there and see the model home that is out there, and we will help you out with anything that you need. This is a great deal, and it is from the 7th to the 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, from the 4th through the 17th.
Yeah.
So it's already started. This promotion already started. Yes, you can see these beautiful homes up until the 17th of June. Again, very important. I wanted to, point out this package again. That as Olivia said, they've got the washer and dryer, the stainless steel refrigerator. Of course, it's going to come with a stove because the homes always come with stoves. But you've got blinds, so many things that they are giving you with these homes free. In addition to $7,500 towards your closing costs. So, guys, this is a great deal. There's the package. And this is through June the 17th. So you want to call us as soon as possible. You don't want to waste time. Now, these homes are not constructed yet. Rancho Verde has already, a section that is already completed. And these new homes, so they have that model home. They're building another model home in this new development here. And they're fixing to, build all those homes right there. All these different homes. These are actually the homes that are going to be built there. Beautiful one-story homes. They have a couple of two-story homes. The homes start at $170,000. That's right. You don't find very many builders right now building in this price range. So $170,000 and up. Definitely give us a call, and we will be absolutely ready to take you out there to give you a personal tour. I know Olivia's definitely ready, available this weekend, right?
Definitely, for sure. Just give me a call. My phone number is there, and also my email. Just call me, and I'll help you out with everything.
All right, super. Well, thank you so much, Olivia. And thank you for that information. And thank you all for watching our show today. There is my information. My direct cell phone number is 832-878-1255. And I will absolutely be available this weekend and all week long to take you to see these homes. Because like I said, this offer ends the 17th. So you want to take advantage of those $1,700. I mean, $7,500. I'm confusing all our programs here. So $7,500. You want to take advantage of that and the free appliances. So call me, text me, send me a message on Facebook. Let's take advantage of all these programs and get them done. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for today. And again, I want to thank Olivia and Rosalinda for being on our show today. And for all the great information. And we will see you next week on Thursday at 1 p.m. And of course, at 1:30, we're going to have our Spanish show. So make sure that you stay tuned for our Spanish show if you're watching us live. Until next Thursday.